Hey everyone, guess who's back? Okay, so today we are talking about an even balance between work and social life. This is what I've been struggling with so much for the past month, which is why I have not made a podcast, because even having YouTube has been too overwhelming, and work and friend time has been insanely overwhelming that I could not add something else. And it's not like this is exhausting, because I don't mind talking, I don't mind sharing my life, but it's really a lot. If you did this kind of stuff, you would completely understand. And if you don't, well, just know it's exhausting sometimes. As much as you love it, it's exhausting. So I'm gonna just talk to you about my life for a second, and then at the end I'm gonna give you some tips on what you should do to get that even work and social balance, what I did, all that kind of stuff. So recently I've been in like a depression, honestly. The thing is like, you wouldn't classify me going through a depression because I look happy and I'm laughing every day and I see my friends and I'm cordial at work and I'm kind to people, but like, you never know what people are going through on the inside. And there was this one week that really, one thing kept happening after the other, and I cried so hard one night, and it was bad. And I cry, of course, but I don't cry as often as I used to, because I'm a lot happier now. And ever since that week, probably about a month ago, I've been through some shit. A lot of shit. Some stuff I'm not even gonna talk on here because I don't need to bring that attention to that. But I just internally, I've been down, sad, talking to people, especially my friend, like just answering texts. It's nothing against my friends. It's nothing against the people that I'm talking to. But responding to my texts and my Snapchats and doing Instagram feels so exhausting. And I love my friends to death, but I shouldn't feel exhausted to talk to people, which is why I don't normally feel exhausted to talk to anyone. So, which is why I was like, that there's something definitely wrong with me. So yeah, it really started when, like 4 weeks ago, and then I just noticed that I was getting really exhausted. I was like, what the hell? I work 40 hours a week, like a normal person. It gets to be a lot because sometimes I get overtime, not on purpose. But I love my job, and I love my coworkers, and I love my people, but being at work is a lot. Doing my job is a lot. I got a new job in my job, so I'm like just working in a different department, and I have to learn everything. What I was before is nowhere close to what I am now. So I had to relearn things, I had to learn new things, and every day is different. It's not like I'm gonna have the same exact issue or thing I need to solve, because everything is gonna be different, which is great. However, it's frustrating because I deal with people's money, and I get stressed out when I deal with people's money because I don't want to overcharge them. I don't want to give them too high of a bill, like that kind of money stress. I just feel bad if I were to mess up their balance. And I know we can refund them, but it's just that like initial screw up moment where I'm like, I don't want to mess up, and then that kind of stuff. So I wake up and I'm exhausted. Even if I slept like 8 hours, I'm exhausted. Work tires me out. I go to the gym like 2 to 4 hours actually every day. And I love the gym. It's my safe space. It's my happy place. I have amazing friends who I see at the gym every single day. I love them. If you're listening, you know who you are. But I get exhausted. I go to work for like 8 hours, 9 hours probably every day. Actually closer to 9. Then get home, eat food, go to the gym for 2 to 4 hours, and then I literally come back and go to bed. And while I love my routines and I love my people and I love, doing all my stuff, it's just like, I'm tired. I'm so tired. I just don't know if you, like, maybe you know what I'm talking about. Maybe I sound crazy. I don't know. But just, like, mentally, I'm exhausted, and I just was not doing good at all. I was really, like, sad. I was really sad. I was really going through it. And I'm not saying no one else was going through it at all. It's just, I haven't felt like that in a while. And it almost made me feel guilty in a sense, because I'm like, why am I being like this when I have an amazing life right now? Like, I'm doing what I want to do. I live by myself. I have an amazing job. I have amazing friends. I'm healthy. I go to the gym. Like, why am I being like that? But then, like, sometimes I just have to stop myself and be like, Faith, it's okay to be sad. It's okay to work through that. It's okay to have a shitty week or a shitty month. Like, it's okay. So my thing was just I needed to start being more kind to myself, and that kind of helped me make me feel better a lot, because I just need to be kinder to myself. And once I started doing that, I started getting back into my routines more, which was great, because I love my routines and they just keep me grounded and they really keep me in check and making sure I do what I need to do. So I'm so sorry to dump all this on you guys, especially the first episode back in a month, but I know that I needed to update you. I know what I needed to tell you. So that's been my life for the past month. Other than that, like, I've been seeing friends more. I've been hanging out. I've been talking to people, and I talk to my gym friends every day. I don't even need to call them my gym friends anymore. They're like some of my best friends. So I'm doing better. I am doing better. Like, actually, I am doing better. I think I was just going through an odd phase in my life where I just was going through it. And we all have those times, and so I just wanted to like talk about it so that you guys know that if you're going through the same shit, like, you're not alone at all. I'm right there with you. Everyone's right there with you. We're all going through shit. Like, it's okay to feel sad. It's okay to be upset. It's okay to take longer to get over something, or be sad for more than you think. Like, it's okay. Everyone processes things different. Everyone goes through things different. Everyone feels different emotions. Like, it's okay. And I always want you guys to feel like it's okay to feel what you feel. 1000%. It's okay to feel what you feel. Okay, so now moving on to some tips. one thing that I really just had to do was I just needed to stop and breathe for a moment. I needed to just let out some of that negative emotion. I cried it out. I breathed it out. I sat in silence and thought it out. Like, it took a lot. Like, you just, honestly, the main thing that you need to do is like get to the root of the problem. Whether it's hard to like admit that to yourself, you just need to get to the root of the problem. What's the root of the problem? My root was that I just was going through it. I was sad. There were a couple things that triggered it, and I knew what it is. I'm not going to share them because it's kind of private, but I knew what triggered it. I knew why I was sad, and I admitted that to myself, and that was the first step of getting out of it. Something else that I did was I tried to have more time to myself. I see people every day. I'm surrounded by people every day. I'm talking constantly. I'm texting, I'm Snapchatting, I'm talking to patients, I'm talking to coworkers, I'm talking to my friends. Like, I'm just constantly talking, and I just need a time to myself. I need a little coffee, a grocery shop. Like, that's one of my favorite things to do. Every Sunday I go grocery shopping by myself. I love it. I'm gonna start going with M because we're gonna start eating healthier, but I will figure out a new way to give myself some alone time, which is a lot. Like, I could go on a walk and give myself alone time, which is what I started to do a lot. And I also started reading a lot more by myself, and getting into that. That was nice. Kind of felt like I was escaping reality for a second, which was cool. But I just had that time to myself, and it was so nice. Something that I did need to improve on was my sleep. I was getting probably 4 hours of sleep every night, which is so horrible. If you know anything about sleep, you need at least, 8 to 10, I think, 6 to 10 in the range for both men and women, I think. I'm not sure. But I was getting like 4 to 6. And so I encourage you, please, please, please get at least 7 hours of sleep. Try it. Just do it. It's going to be so much better for you. You're going to feel so much better in the morning. You're going to feel refreshed. You're going to feel actually well rested. So getting sleep is so, so important. And that was a big step for me as well to take, because I had to cut a couple things out. So that was really helpful. After I took that time by myself, I wanted to reincorporate my friends in my life. So I planned out some times with my friends. I planned out beach trips. I went up north to a cabin, which I filmed and I'm gonna be posting on my YouTube soon. So I have so many vlogs coming on my YouTube if you want to go watch that. Just look up Faith Hernandez. It might pop up, I'm not sure. You can always go to my Instagram. It's in my bio. But yeah, so I post all my vlogs and all my videos on my YouTube if you want to go check that out. But yeah, so I just planned some fun beach trips, cabin trips, just good memory trips. Like, my best friend just had her birthday the other day. That was so fun. I got to go over to her house for a little bit and celebrate her. She turned 21, so that was just a milestone. And I was picking up her card in the Meijer, and I started crying because I was like, no, oh my gosh, I can't believe we're 21. It was just like we were 13 the other day. So anyway, but that's so besides the point. Planning trips with your friends is just so much fun, especially when it's like a day thing. So you don't have to necessarily, if you want more alone time, only do a day with your friends, because then the next day you can do something with yourself, or you know what I'm saying. Along with like hanging out with friends and stuff, like when I say hang out with your friends, I mean hang out with them in a healthy way. Make sure you're doing it like you're not overloading yourself with their time, because you want to miss your friends sometimes, you know? Like, you don't need to have a ton of time with them because they're your best friends. You shouldn't need to spend days and days and days on end with them in order to keep that friendship alive. You should be able to hang out with them for 2 days, text them, call them whenever, hang out with them for another day or so. Like, those are your true friends. So I would say definitely don't overload yourself, because if you do, you're gonna get even more exhausted because you're gonna have barely any alone time, which is annoying. So in my opinion, so just go ahead, enjoy your friends, just don't overload it, especially when you're coming out of that like depression era, because you need to focus on yourself and you need to work on yourself. I've yawned like 7 times already today in this podcast, from beginning to this point. Like, I've yawned like 7 times. Again, I'm still exhausted, okay, but I'm happy girl again. Okay, and next tip is start creating more balance. Start creating more routines, because when you stick to those routines, they're gonna get better. They're gonna make you happier because you're being more consistent. They're gonna keep you accountable in certain routines. So like, a routine would be like gym, shower, food, get ready for bed, read 10 pages of a book, go to bed. Like, that's just like a good routine, because it gives you your alone time, it gives you your gym time, or your active time, or your friend time, or whatever. It gives you that time to, wind down and have that special time with yourself. So that's really, really important, is just having those routines, especially in the mornings too. Like, you can always read before you start getting ready for work or for the day, or you can hop on the treadmill and walk, or go outside and walk. Just having routines just makes you feel grounded, because it makes you feel like you have a purpose and that you're actually doing something. At least that's what it does for me. And if you can, I suggest you take a few days off of work or school or whatever you're doing with your life right now. I think that taking a couple days off from that exhausting task that you do constantly every single day is such a good thing for your mental health, and to help you grow and get better as a person, and just really take a good time off. Because if you're exhausted and overloading yourself at work, like, it's gonna feel so good not to have to work, like, think about work for a whole like week or 3 days, so I really, really encourage, if you can, if you're able, please take off a couple days. It will help you tremendously. And speaking of work, another tip would just be like, if you have a lunchtime or you have a couple different breaks throughout the day, I 1000% suggest you take those times for yourself. You read on your lunch, you eat, obviously, but eat while you read, eat while you walk outside. Like, I want you to do things for yourself on your breaks or your lunchtime, instead of just specifically eating and overloading yourself with TikToks and Instagram and Snapchats and all that kind of stuff. Like, try to do something to better yourself, to give yourself that quality alone time that you deserve and that you should like have, because it helps your mental health so much. Okay, we're ending this podcast now, because I'm exhausted, of course, and I need to edit this, and I need to go to bed soon, and it feels good to talk. It really does. So I thank you for listening, and I thank you for being here, because I could not have done any of this stuff without you. And if you're struggling with your work and social life, or just really anything in general, you're not alone, okay? You are not alone. There is someone out there that wants to talk with you, that wants to listen, that wants to have that conversation with you, and I don't want you to feel like you're alone. I want you to feel like you can talk to someone, especially that one person that you like feel super, comfortable with, because it's worth talking about, because when you talk about things, it gets those emotions out, it gets that negativity out of your body, it makes you feel all around better. So I hope that you guys are doing amazing. I hope that you are taking the proper steps. If you're not doing amazing, please reference this podcast anytime that you need someone to just listen to. If you want to hear me talk about my shit again, restart the podcast. If you want to feel heard, restart the podcast, because I hear you and I relate to you and I love you. So thank you so much for listening. I'm releasing another podcast tomorrow because I feel so bad that I haven't posted so long. So make sure you check out tomorrow's podcast. If you're watching this or if you're listening to this on Saturday, then it's tomorrow. But if you're listening to this in the future, then totally disregard that. But yeah, so I love you. I appreciate you. You're heard, you're worthy, you're amazing, and you will get through whatever you need to get through. I love you all, and I will talk to you in my next podcast episode. Bye.